Well, and that's like what I'm saying, Tom. Like the biggest challenge so far, this is episode 4 for us. For me, the biggest challenge is, and I would never say this during the show, but it's been timing my bowel movements with this every time right before we're going to go.
Oh, baby. When you touch me like this and when you hold me like that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of GPS episode 4. Number 4, it's Quattro. Brett Favre would be proud. Mr. Brandon Perna, we made it a week.
We did a week.
It's our week anniversary.
Yeah, we've been together 1 week. Wow.
1 week. Listen, and things are going pretty strong. Everyone's bowel movements are completely normalized and fine. I said they're fine. I said they're good.
Yeah,
I said, it throws them off the trail. They have no idea.
That's true. I thought I might be late for today's show. Sponsored by my coffee company, Benchwarmer Brew. Get your morning shits a-going.
Really clears you out when you need to go. Clear-headed, clear-boweled, full-hearted.
So today we will compare the size of our power rankings. Tom and I both posted power rankings yesterday. Tom gave me permission to do it with him, and I think it was a smashing success. Now, Tom doesn't own the power rankings.
Nope.
They've been around a while, but I didn't want to step on his turf. It was his thing. And he's like, do it, man. We'll make it part of GPS. So thank you, Tom, because that video is crushing right now.
We crushed it. Listen,
both people are, I hope everyone's audiences are cross-checking our power rankings.
Yes.
And we'll compare because there are some differences. There are some things to debate. Also, as a Broncos fan, it's really hard for me to say that I think Derek Carr is an underrated quarterback. He divides his own fan base, but we're going to talk about the Monday night game a little bit. Cam Newton and the rumors for a revival in Washington with Ron Rivera. Does it make sense? So far, no real smoke there, but I wanted to talk about it today. And we've got a Thursday night game coming up that we'll preview a little bit. Did I miss anything?
I think, and of course, we also, just like some subsections here, we got a former Packers tight end crapping all over Aaron Rodgers again, because he needs to get his 15 seconds of fame. So we'll talk about that and how salty we are. But I think, Brandon Perna, I think we should start with the Monday game, because that was wild. But before we do that, let's give you a seizure.
Today's episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. And yesterday, I tweeted, if this tweet gets 1,000 likes, I'll put a significant bet on the Texans money line.
Oh, buddy.
Now, the Bucks-Falcons game, there's actually a bigger spread there. The Falcons are 12.5-point dogs.
Really?
So the Texans got a point on them, and the Texans are playing the Browns. And I thought that was the biggest mismatch, Texans against Cleveland. Cleveland coming off a bad game. The Falcons-Bucks, I think the Bucks will beat them, but division games can always be kind of weird, kind of dicey. And that tweet did get 1,000 likes, and then I was like, oh, crap. What is a significant bet? So I just bet the money line, which was negative 410. So I put $410 on the Texans to beat the Browns. And if that happens by some sort of miracle,
what do you win?
Going to be rich. I will quit this show if I win.
What's the payout?
It's like $2,000.
You're like, that'll be enough for me. Like, we're good. I will have made all the money that I ever need to make.
But check it out. If you're going to do any sports betting, use our code GPS at DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet just $1 on any football game this week, and you will receive $200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. That's right. DraftKings giving all new customers $200 in free bets instantly when they bet at least $1 on any football game. DraftKings, of course, safe, secure, reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Oh, wait, sorry. Actually, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new players a deposit bonus of up to $1,000.
Oh, that's very different. That's very different.
$1,000 when you use code GPS. My bad. You get even more money when you're doing DraftKings. I might have messed that up, but up to 1,000, that's even better. That's
there you go.
Even better.
Anyway, GPS, navigation, Tom Grossi. That people were saying, please don't give him a seizure anymore. They were, I think some of our viewers may have, we might have lost. Just saying.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I will be better moving forward.
I mean, we'll talk about those power rankings because honestly, that was the bigger crime. But we'll get into that debate. Let's talk about Monday's game, which, by the way, I originally wasn't even going to stream because I was like, Ravens, Raiders, I don't know how good of a game it's going to be. Oh, maybe I will. And
plus, you were going up against the Manning brothers.
That's true. Which apparently were great. Apparently, they were fantastic.
800,000 people watched them on ESPN2.
All right, we had like
15 million just watching the game, though.
Yeah, we had like 2,500, but it's okay. It's
pretty good.
It's pretty good. But so I streamed the game, and it was a defensive battle. For the majority of the game, the kind of going back and forth. They were just targeting Darren Waller all night. Like literally, Derek Carr's just like, I'm just going to throw it. Waller's going to be over there. Henry Ruggs Go Fast was really not getting any production. And like, it was a good, solid game. Like, it was a good football game. It was solid. There was like some messiness, obviously, and some sloppy play. But then from like the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter all the way through overtime was just pure pandemonium. And it was one of the craziest games that I have ever seen. And it just seemed like, oh, okay, the game's over now. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, wait, there's more. Like, it just kept going as like the longest infomercial like in history. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. It broke Urinating Tree, who was then starting to tweet about conspiracy theories about how it was scripted. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you in my DMs?
Yeah, it was. Okay, so I'm going to be fully honest. I had a hard time watching the first 3 quarters of that game.
Sure.
Because I was finishing up a video. I forgot how hard Mondays are on YouTube for my channel.
Yep.
And then, I got the game on my phone, putting the baby down to bed. She drinks her bottle like normal.
Yep.
She's pointing at me going, "Tata." So cute. Tata. Yep. And then she gets tired. She wants up. She wants to be put on her the shoulder so she can sleep.
Yep. And
then she kind of makes a weird noise. And then she just projectile vomits all over me. I was just covered. My Joe Flacco shirt covered.
Oh,
my
no.
Broncos Joe Flacco shirt.
Oh, no.
I wore it 2 days in a row. Good luck. All over me. So I missed a good portion of that game because there's some heavy cleanup involved. Then you got to make sure the baby's okay. Luckily, She was fine. Like, something didn't sit right. Had to get that out of her system.
Yep.
Probably the way a lot of Raiders fans felt when they thought they might lose that game in overtime.
Yeah.
So I honed in around the fourth quarter. I was like, the Ravens, anybody can run in the Ravens offense.
Anybody.
Tyson Williams had a touchdown. Latavius Murray
Murray
gets out of the airport, walks into the stadium, and then just scores a rushing touchdown.
He's like, I got you, fam.
But the Raiders, what they did is Derek Carr played well when they needed him to, right?
Yes.
Fourth quarter, he was clutch. Fourth quarter, the Ravens forgot to double team Derek Waller. Like, how many targets did he have? I swear to God, it was like 20.
Dude, it was insane. And like, that's the thing. Like, and a bunch of them like they didn't make it there because you said like Carr played clutch when he needed to, but like he was throwing high like a whole bunch of the night, and like he was missing throws, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't know, but Waller, like, it just every single 5 seconds, like I didn't even need to look up. I was like, all right, that's a pass. Yep, that's gonna be Darren Waller again. Like that's gonna be it.
Yeah. If we say, like Carr missing, He still completed 60% of his passes, finished as the league leader with 435 passing yards, 7.8 per attempt. So he was throwing it downfield. Like people, me included for a while, kind of called Derek Carr like a check down guy or whatever. Last year, he kind of dispelled that. He'll throw it downfield. Also, it was Henry Ruggs who basically got the Raiders down into field goal range in overtime. But here's what I love about the Raiders.
Who is it? Who was it?
Sorry, I meant Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow.
No, Henry Ruggs go fast.
Henry Ruggs go fast, but Hunter Renfrow, sneaky Hunter Renfrow, catches a ball, shakes a tackle, dances down the sideline.
Did he step out? Who knows?
It looked like he did, and they didn't review it. But there's only like maybe 8 yards after that. So the Raiders, and Will Keys, my writing partner, tweeted that John Gruden should have been the first coach fired after a win. I thought was spot on because the Raiders, we think they score the game-winning touchdown, right?
Yep, it's amazing.
Game's over. Everyone's celebrating on the field. Turns out knee was down. Was down. So the Raiders get the ball like on the half-yard line. They don't score. Then they jump. They do a false start. And then,
Alex Leatherwood.
Then they turn the ball over.
Yep.
That is a killer.
Yep.
A killer.
If they lost that game, that Death Star would have imploded like it was either A New Hope or Return of the Jedi. It would have been either one.
Yeah, that whole sequence. Terrible coaching, terrible execution. The Raiders fall into a win because Lamar Jackson fumbles. I think he had
Carl Nassib getting that strip sack, baby. Let's get it.
Carl Nassib gets the strip sack. Max Crosby looked good.
He did. Crosby, dude, he's fast. Like, there's that one play where Lamar's like getting on the outside to the right, and like Crosby just chases him down. And listen, Lamar Jackson at times was making that defense look dumb. Like we were talking about like the 19 targets that Waller got, but holy crap, Jackson was just like, oh no, like I'm gonna make everybody miss. Like, and someone was saying on one of his fumbles, like they should have activated like his ability from Madden because
I'll say he even looked like a half a step slower than normal. And I think like maybe by week 2, he shakes off that offseason rust, but
he was elusive. The
Raiders got that win. Eventually, they kicked the field goal to win, right?
No, they
scored that touchdown. Zay Jones.
Well, because Zay Jones. Because what was crazy was they thought it was a touchdown. The first one where he was down on, like it was pressure in Carr's face, and like he was able to just get it away. And I was like, holy crap! Like what a throw, what a catch! And then that happened again, except Zay Jones was wide open because they just brought everybody. Like they brought everybody, and they thought they were going to run it. Because that's the thing too, like that final drive in overtime, the Raiders were screwing that up too, because they send the field goal kicker out there. They send the kicker out there to go and do it, but then they get a delay of game call because they have no timeouts left, and it sends them back 5 yards, and then Gruden's like, crap, send the offense back out there. And like that was what was insane to me, and I was like, how is this happening? Like if the Raiders somehow blow this game, like, yeah, Gruden, absolutely, like get canned in the middle of the, like it was bad. It was real bad, but they fell into a win.
They fell into a win. So that's why, as you'll see, the Raiders are not on my power rankings. But here's why I think Derek Carr underrated. And yes, we just said that they fell into a win. They got lucky. But look at all these quarterbacks right here with their passing attempts. Dak Prescott, 58. Goff, 57. Carr, 56. Trevor Lawrence, 51. Josh Allen, 51. What do all those have in common? All of those teams lost except for Derek Carr, who again needed a little magic there. But if you're going to talk about guys like Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, like Carr was out there throwing as much as those guys. Brady gets the win with 50, but Kirk Cousins, 49 in a loss. Herbert needed it. I mean, it's like you want to be able to run the ball, and I think the Raiders can with Josh Jacobs. They just, I question John Gruden as a head coach all the time, and it's not just to be a dick. I just don't think he's good anymore as a coach. Like, I think he could be a good offensive coordinator if that's all he was doing. But
sure.
Anyway, that's enough about that game. It's so far in the past. That was Monday, but we didn't talk about it, and I wanted to wanted to address it.
I will say it did make for an incredibly entertaining game. So like I thoroughly enjoyed that there.
It was bad football turned entertaining, and that's okay.
And we didn't even mention that. Humphrey literally having like he gave up at the very end. But like, dude, he had an interception like in his hands, and he just he put it down on the ground. Like that, did you see that? Like where he literally is like rolling around with the receiver and he has like the ball, but he doesn't realize it and he stands up to gloat. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. It's not gonna be an interception now. It was just a crazy game.
Yeah,
it was just a crazy game.
And let's remember, the Ravens were without Marcus Peters, done for the season, without LJ Fort, their linebacker, and all of their running backs. Tyson Williams was like third or fourth string. So they're a little beat up. They got to learn how to play with some guys. But I think the Ravens will bounce back. The Raiders play the Steelers this weekend. So we're going to get a better gauge, I think, of where the Raiders are at. They beat the Steelers. I'm going to have some real conflicts in my next power rankings.
That's the thing. Now that you start doing it, like week one, like you're like, okay, I can make some decisions. Once it starts getting a little deeper into the season, Brandon Perna, then you're going to start being like, oh, I'm going to have to start defending these. Like that's what's really going to kind of like, put a spotlight on it. It's like, oh, like I can't just put this up and walk away. Like we're gonna have to talk about it.
Well, here's my question then. How do you do your power rankings? Because I think a lot of people will take last season's body of work and use that to factor in. I just went with week one performances. Mm-hmm. Week one is all I use to grade. Maybe that's
what?
wrong.
I see that a lot. Yeah.
But for week one's also like an outlier, I think, in the NFL. A lot of good teams lose when they shouldn't. A lot of bad teams outperform.
Correct.
Week two, I think you start to dial it in. Weeks 3 and 4, I think, are the money weeks of teams that are going to.
Oh yeah. Once you start getting out of September, that's when you start to see like people start teams start separating from the pack a little bit. Like how the Saints separated from the pack on Sunday. Yeah. But how I do my power rankings is I just have a big dartboard, and but realistically, I look at a couple of things. Obviously, like wins and losses are important in there. How they performed in the past week and how they have been performing. Can't really do that after this. 2, then it's like the strength of their opponent. So like you look at like the Browns. Like so, the Browns are still in my power ranking because even though they lost, they put up a really good fight against one of the best teams in being like the Chiefs. So I look at like
we both have the Browns at 9.
We do. We did not talk to each other at all about this at all. So I the quality of opponent that's on there too. And then like there's a little bit in there that's like potential. And kind of like seeing like, all right, maybe this was a really bad loss, but like they have potential. So like the Packers, for example, if it was a more competitive game, they'd probably still be on there. But because the game was so bad and so lopsided, it kind of goes to your philosophy of like, you need to prove why you need to be on this list again. So like, that's kind of how I rock with like the power rank. There's a couple of different things there. It's not just week one, but it's like, it's a number of things.
I thought the biggest argument I was going to be able to have was me telling you how stupid it was to have the Packers on the power ranking, but you executed integrity. You're a far better man than me.
Try to be as unbiased as possible.
I saw somebody comment on my video. I stopped watching as soon as this idiot put the Broncos at 5. Sir?
Yeah. Let's go through this because
and next week, Tom, we will get a visual for these.
I wanted to create one, but I was up until like 11:30.
I'll have my wife, Jess, who's amping up my social media game along with my best friend. I posted my power rankings on Instagram. I posted them too early. I spoiled the video basically.
Yeah, next week,
I'll have them make one for you so we can at least have the visual to compare.
I like that a lot. Okay. So let's kind of go through. Let's talk. Let's start with our bases and start with number 10. All right.
Okay.
So I'll start here, and this is already going to be a huge fight because my number 10 was the New Orleans Saints, and the New Orleans Saints were definitely on your power rankings.
Yep. They're number 1, baby.
They were number 1. So let me
Nola. That's not their chant.
Let me,
Who that? Who
let me-
that nation?
let me
Who
give,
that army.
here's the thing here. Okay, let's
17-0.
let's talk about this. All right. So the Saints, the quality of the opponent was there in the Green Bay Packers, right? Reigning defending MVP there in the NFC Championship game. Like that's definitely there. And it was an impressive as hell win. Don't get me wrong. Jameis Winston threw for under 150 yards, still threw 5 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 80 yards. Tony Jones, 50 yards. Jameis Winston even scrambled for, I think it was like 36 yards, right? Run defense looked really good. Secondary, I mean, they did enough because, Rodgers didn't really do anything.
Lose Marshawn Lattimore for a while, though.
Yeah, lost Lattimore. They don't have Michael Thomas, etc. So for number 10, I could justify them being on there. Looking ahead, potential-wise,
can't predict the future, my man.
They made the top 10. I need to see consistency with the Saints. Listen, the Packers aren't on there. They're not on there, and for good reason. But to put them at number 1.
Number 1, and here is why.
Okay.
And you're gonna like this, Tom.
Okay.
It's because they kicked the ass of who I think will still be one of the best teams in the league. Uh-huh. This is the NFC champion loser that they beat by 35 points?
Correct.
So based on week 1 alone, based on what we can assume about the competition, I thought the Saints had the biggest margin of victory against the best competition.
That's valid.
Close Arizona Cardinals, who I didn't put on my list at all.
Yeah, what?
And that's only because I had to put the Texans at 10. And then
right there, buddy. We're gonna
messed everything else up. So I'm sorry, Cardinals fans, all 3 of you. You see, that's the thing. You can piss off Cardinals fans, and even the few that show up are like, "Yeah, I get it though."
I get it, guys. We listen. I didn't include the Dolphins or the Seahawks in my power rankings last week. Ooh, they came out in full force. They're like, keep sleeping on us. I didn't include the Dolphins again this week, but
me neither.
I didn't either. Sorry, Dolphins fans. Sorry.
Chargers fans too. But okay, so you got 10. We both have Browns at 9.
Hold on one second. You put the Houston Texans at number 10. Now, your rationale in the video was there's no other week that I'm going to be able to put them in the top 10.
I got to give them something, man.
So it was a pity power ranking.
It's a pity spot.
Okay.
Also, I'm a huge Texans fan now because I put $410 on them through promo code GPS and DraftKings. But
I'm like, wait, whoa. You know what I just realized? You told me that this year was the BBBs, the Better Business Bureau.
Browns, Bills, and Broncos, baby. I'm still on that train. That train don't slow down.
But now the Browns are going against the Texans.
Yeah, so I got to root for the Texans to make me money. I think the Browns starting 0-2 will be good for them, actually.
Just for this week. Just for this week.
Next week, biggest Browns and Bills secondary team fan again.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Number 9, we were the same. We had the Browns.
Yep.
We had the Browns at number 9. No arguments there. Played real good. Baker Mayfield had a bad turnover. Controlled that game for, a good while until Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes does. So yeah, I think even in defeat, they went toe to toe with the Kansas City Chiefs, and right there, that's an accomplishment, and you still deserve to be in the spot, 100%. Yep. And then we diverge. All right, what was your number 8, bud?
49ers.
49. All right, explain to me why the 49ers are your number 18.
Because they're a good team who just went out and dismantled the Lions. They destroyed them. The Lions clawed back in the fourth quarter because it was all garbage time. Let's go back to Jared Goff's stats here. Okay. Jared Goff threw for 90% of these yards after the game was over. 5.9 yards per attempt for Goff. Beating Goff. Jimmy G. Where's old Jimmy G? We got pass yards. Where's his thing? Jimmy Garoppolo.
There you go.
Look at this. 68 completion percentage. That's pretty high. 17 of 25. Efficient. QB passer rating 120, 124. They lose Raheem Mostert. That
Yep.
sucks.
Yep.
I really like Mostert.
They had that other guy get injured too.
Jason Verrett.
Yeah, Jason Verrett got injured.
I mean, that one really hurts because, look, Verrett's
Then
one
the
of the most
Lions started
talented
coming back.
players who's always been injured.
Yeah.
Always. And then he finally stays healthy last year, plays really well. Was excited for him. He got, I forget, did he sign a long-term thing or just another one-year deal? I don't remember, but him getting hurt, he's done for the season. 49ers, they're just a good team. They're a good team.
I agree that they are a good team. I think they are going to be one of those teams that's going to be there at the end. They're most likely going to be playoff contenders and deep playoff contenders, especially with that D-line. You know, losing Mostert definitely hurts. When Verrett went out, that's when the Lions started to come back a little bit. So what I'm going to say is that they controlled that game up until the fourth quarter. And then they kind of didn't anymore.
That's Kyle Shanahan coach team. Leads are never safe.
What I'm saying is that with the injuries, I was like, you know what? I think that there were 10 teams that were better than them because, again, if we're looking at, sorry, Lions fans, if we're looking at the quality of the opponent, it being the Detroit Lions, I mean, that game shouldn't even like get close in the fourth quarter, in my humble opinion. So that's why for me, like comparing them, like Cardinals, 49ers, Cardinals blow them out of the water in terms of the competition that they played and the dominance that they put on the field. That'd be my.
Yeah, I think the Niners were equally dominant. But competition, yeah, I'll agree. I'm not going to say the Lions. I mean, the Lions are my sleeper team, so I can't contradict myself.
Yeah.
49ers, I think their defense, their pass rush specifically will get better.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Bosa's got to get his conservative knee feeling right.
Yep.
And, you know, that's better than it feeling left.
Wow, our viewership just went down by 600.
Also, their rookie corner out of Oregon, Diamador Lenore, my favorite Edgar Allan Poe turned corner, played solid. So they do lose Verrett, but they might have hit on a very good corner in the draft. So I think the 49ers defense is going to get better. That's another reason I have them there. But on to the next.
So my number 8, because apparently I'm rolling with the triple Bs more than you. Because you had the Brown. Okay, so I had the Bills on here.
You got the Bills. I
kept the Bills here because I think the Bills, again, real close game, ugly game. It was an ugly game as a whole, you know, but the Bills were in control of that game. You know, Josh Allen didn't look the greatest, obviously didn't have a run game going on. Defense looked a little bit better until the fourth quarter. I think, again, looking at the Bills, you go up against one of the best defenses in the league, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you keep it real close, and it's week 1. I mean, yeah, I think that the Bills still deserve a top 10 list. I still think they're a top 10 team. I think the Packers are too. It's just they didn't show it in week 1. But I felt more comfortable putting the Bills on here than the Packers because the Bills at least, you know, scored points besides 3. So
yeah, no, that's fair. And I didn't put the Bills on because I needed to light a fire under their ass.
So it's all motivation.
Yeah, the Bills look at my show for motivation, and I'm like, you got to impress me to get on this list. This is a prestigious list
that the Texans are on.
Also, the other reason I didn't put the Bills, they would have been if the Texans, the Bills beat themselves.
Yes.
And I hate when teams do that.
Sure.
Because no, the offense did not play great against the best, if not the Cardinals might make a case for having the best defense next week. We'll see.
I wouldn't know it from Brandon Perna's list.
Nope, but they will make the biggest jump, which will be a great storyline for the Cardinals.
Okay.
I didn't expect the Bills offense to play well against the Steelers.
I didn't either.
But like the blocked punt, there's some bad like offensive play calls. You know, Josh Allen made some mistakes, misses
the fourth down.
Like the Bills beat themselves. They didn't get outplayed. So if you want to get on this list, Buffalo, just play better. And
just win football games.
Win, baby.
Number 7, we were the exact same with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
So we had a match there. Good defense. TJ Watt's like, here. This is why I get money. Here you go. This is why you paid me a crap ton of money.
Yep.
For me to do this.
He's so good.
He is good. All right, number 6. See, I didn't put the disrespect on here. Just outside my top 5, you got the Arizona Cardinals. Because I said the Cardinals were going to beat the Titans. I flat out said it as one of the few predictions I actually got correct here. Okay? But they shut out the Titans in that offense, which was heralded. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
As with Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, they were going to be unstoppable. And they got shut out in the first and fourth quarter. Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. 5. It was not first quarter, 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Get on out of here. J.J. Watt, not only pretty good on defense, opening up opportunities for Chandler Jones, but also had a tackle for a loss, was used on offense as a decoy so Kyler Murray could get in for a rushing touchdown. And we don't even talk about the offense yet. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 TDs. You got Christian Kirk, 2 TDs. Run game wasn't amazing, wasn't terrible. Chase Edmonds looked okay. But Kyler Murray had 1 interception. But my man,
DeAndre Hopkins touchdown catch was
in the back of the end zone.
So
disgusting.
Pretty.
Disgusting.
Oh my God. The other reason I put the Texans on the list is because the Texans gave the Cardinals all their best players.
So they deserve some credit.
Imagine how good the Texans would be if they just kept their damn players. Oh my God. Kyler Murray, he is probably going to be in MVP discussions all season. Oh, yeah. So I'll give you that, but I went with their neighboring birds in the same division, the Seahawks, who, like the Cardinals, got a good performance from their defense, which nobody really thought would happen.
True.
And it came against the Colts.
Good.
Not a great passing team per se. Carson Wentz, is he going to figure it out? But they stopped the Colts where it mattered, where they're good, and that is in the run game. Holding Jonathan Taylor, I think, to under 50 yards. He had like 43 or something. Stats go in and out of my brain so quickly. I do not retain that information, but they smothered him. Russell Wilson, early in the season, there is no better bet than him throwing a lot and everybody talking about him as an MVP. And then by the end of the season, he'll get 0 votes like he always does.
Yep.
Because
Tyler Lockett will also put up 0 fantasy points next week because he had 2 touchdowns and like 100 yards. Yeah. Like, because Tyler Lockett literally is that player where like he will go off and get 3 touchdowns one week and then he'll get 2 points the next week. Like he is like the epitome of boomer bust. But to your point about the Cardinals and the Seahawks there, Cardinals held Derrick Henry to 58. And if I'm not mistaken, the guy who praises Derrick Henry as being like the greatest living embodiment of a running back right now, and still not on the list, Perna. Just saying.
Derrick Henry gets stronger as the game goes on and as the season goes on.
That's it. Because my number 5, for the exact reasons that you said, were the Seattle Seahawks. Because I think they earned a top 5 just because the defense, the defense of the Titans is trash, right? Like it's garbage. And even though all the Titans fans were like, we were number 1 in the preseason, I don't care. You showed on the field. Here, like the Colts have a good defense, and the Cardinals were still very efficient. Russell Wilson didn't even have to throw the ball that many times, but he still lit it up. Chris Carson played really well. So I had them as my number 5 because of that very reason.
Yeah. How embarrassing is it for the Titans that Mike Vrabel's your head coach and your defense is garbage? Like that guy just embodies like strong, tough defensive performances. And like the last season, that's what cost them. And it, 1 week will overreact and they look bad. They look like one of the worst defenses in the league. And I'm just waiting. I want to see if the Cardinals do it against a good team. And I think you have to wait a while before that's going to happen.
Well, they're playing the Vikings next week.
Yeah,
so.
The Vikings defense is worse than the Titans. Okay.
I am so excited.
Vikings fans. The Vikings fans are good people. Like they show up and I crap on the Vikings and they're just like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm sorry. Okay. let's
maybe you got a different perspective.
Let's pause the show. Did you just say Vikings fans are good people?
Yep. I will stick by that.
listen, I know a couple
Hey,
good Vikings fans.
if, come over to the pornographer side.
But I know a couple. Okay, there's a couple out there. No, Adam, don't thank him. No, that's enabling right there. Don't you thank him there. No, yes you are. No, don't get. Listen,
I love Vikings fans. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I want to marry every Vikings fan. Vikings are just like the show Vikings. You'll watch them. It's not very good, and it goes on way too long, and the end result is bad. But you stick around for some reason. See, look at that. Look at that. Vikings fans.
I think Chargers fans are some of the best fans out there right now, as well as
Chargers
Raiders fans.
The ones that are around are good.
Chiefs fans, Raiders fans, definitely though. Chiefs
fans it's half and half. They are cool, and then also the most vulgar and angry fan base that I interact with. Like Chiefs fans will come out of nowhere and tell you to die.
Valid. yeah. That's what I go Vikings fans sometimes.
Raiders fans just can't spell. So.
All right, your my 5 are the Seahawks, and then number 5, the homerism is coming out. Look at how well those jeans fit, by the way.
Oh, the Denver Broncos. Oh, this hat is dusty, and I had it at age 12. Number 5 on the list.
That's an awesome hat, by the way. That is a fantastic hat.
This is the original, too. None of that reboot. Bull crap.
No.
Broncos. I've been over this on my channel. I don't need to get too deep into the weeds here, but
how's the quality of the opponent there, Perna?
Top 10 defense, top 5 passing, top 4 running. Teddy Bridgewater got the highest ESPN QBR. Quality of opponent, not great. But the Broncos are going to be 3-0 because they're going to play even worse opponents the next 2 weeks. So wait for this list to get unbearable.
Listen, buddy, I mean, I put out my AFC West reaction last night, and Breck is already a fan favorite who referred to Teddy Bridgewater as a really thick condom. You won't feel anything,
that was the best part.
But it'll be safe as hell. So, listen.
But Teddy, Teddy he played so well, and he did he had 2 scrambles where he should have been sacked, where he shed off the defenders. One makes a crossbody throw for a huge completion, and then the other is a touchdown. Teddy impressed me, genuinely. Wasn't just a safe performance. He took some risks. If you're down for taking some risks, why don't you check out DraftKings Sportsbook? America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use code GPS when you sign up at DraftKings. They support this channel. You want to support this channel and you want a sports bet, you do it DraftKings with GPS. You don't have to. There is no pressure for you to do that, okay? But they are giving all new players a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 with their first deposit when you use code GPS. I had a single game parlay last week that I think I missed on 2 of the 3. So do not follow my betting advice. Again, I put $410 on the Texans.
You're crazy.
Because that was the money line, and I said I would do it. I'm a man of my word. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code GPS. Again, it's $1,000 of free money up to $1,000 with your deposit bonus when you sign up with our code.
I feel like you put $410 on the Texans. You should get more than $2,000.
You should get a house.
Honestly, you're GM for the day of the Texans, because why not at this point?
Not?
I feel like that should be a sweepstakes with the Houston Texans. They should work with DraftKings using our code, of course, but they should work with DraftKings. And Easterby might have a problem with that though, but.
Yeah, I had to do it too because the DraftKings Twitter account called me out and they go, looks like you got to bet on the Texans now. I was like, oh man, I've got to make this a significant bet. I don't want to look.
Here's $1.
I'll just not feed my child for the month. So
that's, I hope I really hope that DraftKings, the sponsorship comes through for the next few months, because
for the rest of my life,
for the rest of your life. Listen, I will say too, I think, I'm going to go on a limb here. I think the Falcons have a shot at beating the Buccaneers.
I do too. I think, but it's hard because the Falcons have the talent to hang on offense. They just never do. They always let me down. They always disappoint me.
Defense got destroyed.
Yeah. Let's finish these power rankings. We've taken a little too much time, but
number 4.
Want to talk about Thursday night football before we get out of Dodge.
Number 4. I got the LA Chargers. I got the LA Chargers. They're in my top 5 here. Did they not even make your list?
No. Let me tell you why. They beat a team that lost its starting quarterback. Woo, and they barely beat them. The one thing they did very well that could
offensive line, baby.
A lot of success for the Chargers.
Offensive line.
They protected Herbert against what we thought might be the best defensive line heading into week 1. Rashawn Slater looking like a slam dunk draft pick for the Chargers. If their defense stays healthy, they're going to be tough, but beat Ryan Fitzpatrick playing a whole game, and then we'll talk.
Listen, all I'm going to say, against, again, one of the best defenses, Brian Bulaga, Iowa, amazing. Corey Linsley was amazing. Slater, amazing. You get that kind of level of protection all year, they're going to be a real good football team. I think they're going to be good. Number 3, we actually agreed. That's the LA Rams.
Rams.
Dude, I was looking at this because I think it was on the Rams subreddit, and they were saying that you and I, they mentioned you and I, and they said, like, we had them. Now we're apparently big deals. People watch our power rankings now. So they said that, like, we had the Rams in the top 10, and Colin Cowherd apparently didn't have the Rams on it at all in their top 10. Which, again, I have never intentionally watched Colin Cowherd ever. I've never watched
his clips.
Yeah,
he's good at what he does, but you and I don't have time to watch 3 hours of talk radio.
No, we do not. But, like, I don't know how you watch that Rams game, and even if the Bears are a bad team, I don't know how you watch that and go, oh yeah, the Rams are not a top 10 team. Matthew Stafford was incredible. He was great in his first game with a brand new team, and their defense was really good.
Stafford's like, why are my receivers open? Why are they open by 20 yards? This is the easiest game of my life.
What is this?
And I think the Rams defense didn't even play their best football. So it's like, I think their defense will get better as the season kind of goes along. And like Sean McVay, knowing he has a guy who can put the ball anywhere on the field, which he did not have with Jared Goff, like, people are gonna be talking about Sean McVay as your genius head coach again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's gonna come out again.
Body instead of his perfect man body.
I am curious of like what he's able to do with a quarterback that doesn't need a lot of hand holding, which is Jared Goff. Which is if the play to the quarterback shuts off at 15 seconds, he's still got it. He's okay. Like Matthew Stafford's gonna be okay. Yeah, he's just like, guys, listen, I'm just happy to have running backs, receivers, an offensive line, not a coach who's riding around an ATV. Like I'm just happy that I have all of these things here. Like we're good. We're good. Yeah. Career high passer rating. That's it for Matthew Stafford, coming from a Lions fan.
Here's what's tragic. It's like LA could end up with 2 top 5 teams in the Chargers and the Rams.
Yes.
And nobody's going to give a shit in that.
No one's. We could have
brand new stadium, top flight football, and they're still going to struggle.
Which, by the way, it is being held in LA this year. It's being held in SoFi. So I'm saying maybe you have Rams Chargers Super Bowl in SoFi, and it's just LA up the wazoo.
Suck it, Buccaneers.
It's the Met Gala. Essentially, it's just that's what it is.
Dude, there'd be so many celebrities at that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
so many.
Oh yeah. So real quick, we passed over it. Your number 4 was the Chiefs. Mine was the Chargers. Yours the Chiefs were down there.
Chiefs in there
because my Chiefs were number 2. So I'm curious, why was yours 4, mine 2?
I thought the Chiefs, like the Steelers, they needed their opponent to make mistakes. So the Browns lose that game. But it's because Nick Chubb fumbles.
True.
Punter, the Scottish Hammer, muffs a punt, hands the Chiefs basically their winning score, and Baker Mayfield throws a pick to end the game. Like those are 3 really bad plays. I think they all happen in the fourth quarter. I'm pretty sure that's when the Nick Chubb fumble happens. Those things don't happen. The Browns outplayed them for that whole game. The Chiefs don't get good field position to score those easy touchdowns. Sure, they had the big bomb to Tyreek Hill, but I don't think the Chiefs played their best football last week. That's why.
I know, and they still were able to win. That's why
they're
it's
still
scary.
able to win. Yeah, they're still there's 4. They're in the top 5. They're still very good.
Okay, fine. All right, your number 2. Mine was the Chiefs. Yours was the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you put the Saints
to the Cowboys. Come on.
Here's the thing. They almost lost to the Cowboys. Their defense led over 400 yards. But the thing that was impressive as hell to me is the fact that like they still had like AB getting 120 yards. They still had Godwin getting over 100 yards. They had Gronk getting nearly 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mike Evans wasn't even a conversation piece like in that entire game. And I think like that's what's so scary. They obviously didn't play their best football and they still were able to win. And like there was still a ton of production that was going on. So like I think we'll see how they do next week. If they do play like that Falcons like that again, they're not gonna be number 1. But like I still am like giving the benefit of the doubt because the amount of depth that team has is just insane.
No,
it's just
very good. And I don't think the Bucs defense played their best ball. So
No.
I use that excuse for other teams. Whatever. Putting them at 2 is not that offensive, so I don't care.
Yeah. Putting the Saints at 1 is, but that's okay. But folks, we want to know on the chats, in the comments, whose power rankings do you agree with more? I don't need to do a Scooter press 1 in the chat. What I'm saying is, let us know, whose power rankings do you agree with a little bit more? You siding with Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports?
Say poop for That's Good Sports. Type in poop for That's Good Sports.
And I'll go with urine. No, wait, that's too close to tree. I can get copyrighted. Yeah. That's fine. So, all right, there were a couple things we did want to talk about besides
power ranks.
For power rankings,
besides our own content.
Yeah, besides literally, we just spent like 40 minutes just our content was so good.
Look at us.
Before we get into the Thursday game, I thought we'd have an interesting conversation here. And being part of it, the AFC West and the NFC West, 2 undefeated divisions.
Crazy.
Which one, after week 1, are you riding with? And you're like, this is the better division.
I think it's the NFC West. And I think my only reasoning behind that is I don't think the Raiders are as good as their win was. And I think like every NFC West team was as good as their win.
Yeah.
So, and like, if I'm being very, very honest, like the Broncos have a ton to prove to me still. Like their week 1 win was great. It was just against the Giants. They got the Jags, they got the Jets. So I want to see the Broncos beat up on a really good team before I get too high and mighty on the AFC West. And also I need to have a little hope that some team in this division, not named the Broncos, falls apart, because it's going to be really hard to win that division if that doesn't happen.
All I'm going to say is the longer that those teams remain undefeated, I think at like week 4, like they start playing each other, the longer that goes, the better the content is, because I picked a good year.
That was like serendipitous.
Oh yeah. It worked out. Like I legitimately was rooting for the Raiders on Monday night because I was like, the content would be so good.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so good.
It's funny how like you start to change your perception of the NFL as it affects your livelihood.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I had people rooting for the Washington football team and the New York Jets. If that ain't the power of content, then I don't know what is.
I don't know what it is.
Then I don't know what is. So speaking of
Washington,
let's talk about the NFC East a little bit.
Thursday night football. We got Giants football team.
Oh yeah.
We got a bench warmer coming in, Taylor Heineke, starting for the Giant or the football team.
The Heine.
Washington favored by 3. Now, Cam Newton has been linked to the Washington football team because he played with Ron Rivera. That's literally the only connection.
It's the only thing.
They have come out and said they're not considering Cam Newton right now. So I apologize for the clicky.
I do want to say though, like wasn't the whole thing that like Cam Newton wasn't vaccinated and Ron Rivera we went after his own team for not being vaccinated because he literally went through cancer last year.
Beat cancer.
Yeah, I don't think Cam Newton's coming back, folks. Like I don't not to Washington. Not to Washington.
And the question I wanted to ask you is because, Cam Newton said he's not there are not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the NFL. I think there might be, or 31. I think there might be 31, actually 32 quarterbacks now better than him in the NFL. And it's not necessarily Cam's fault. I think his injuries have slowed him down. We all know. And the thing that bothers me now, like I've always been supporting Cam because I think he gets a raw deal in terms of criticism.
Sure. I agree.
But after the Patriots cut him and he goes on his own YouTube and Instagram with his dad and says, like, I would have been a backup to Mac Jones.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to keep me there because of my aura, because I would have been a distraction to Mac Jones. That's you not being aware of what you actually can bring to an organization. And
sure.
I think you got a guy saying that sort of thing. Of course, you don't want him in your locker room with a young QB around because you will be a distraction. And he's like, I can't control it. It's just you can control it. And I don't think that, the one coach in the NFL who's not going to have that around is Bill Belichick.
Sure.
I think Cam would be a great backup for a lot of. I
agree.
Cam would be great with the Jets. Like I think having. A veteran there behind Zach Wilson, also who got unfairly criticized. But Cam's got to be willing to buy into that role. So, no, I don't think he's going to Washington. I agree with you there. And I would like to see him somewhere. But I think based on the way he played last year, you could easily argue there are better options.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think that if they are to go shopping for a QB, and I don't think Cam Newton's going to be near the top of that list for them to go there. Real quick, just because Kip asked what the origin of the Breck's name was that's actually a Brandon Perna creation because I said, don't call me Tom. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to come up with something really from Colorado.
Yeah. Well, we've got a town in Colorado called Breckenridge. So Breck is short for that. And people out here actually name their kids Brecky.
But yeah, no, for Washington, I feel like you roll with Heine for a couple of games, unless he just comes out and he's terrible. Because, Fitzpatrick's not gonna be out for the entire season. So I think you roll with him for a little bit, and then worst case scenario, you go and you get somebody to kind of help out. I saw someone earlier mentioned about Drew Lock, about trading for Drew Lock. How would you feel about that at this point? I mean, because you'll just get Aaron Rodgers next year. So
yeah, Drew Lock to Washington. It depends. Like if Washington gave us, I don't know, second round pick for Drew Lock, I'd take that. I'd take that shit in a second.
Yeah,
because Teddy looked that good. I also said if the Packers want to make a trade, it's Teddy for Rodgers straight up right now.
Straight up right now. It's straight up.
I would send Drew Lock to Washington for Terry McLaurin as well. That dude is so good. He had the best catch of the week.
Dude, that was disgusting. It was disgusting.
Oh my God. He's like, I didn't even see the defender because I was so focused on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I think Taylor Heineke will be all right. So Fitz is going to be out. I think it's until week 8. I think they have.
Yeah, he's out until for a while. Yeah.
Nothing says you're getting old like a hip injury. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I hope Fitz gets healthy. I really was excited to see him maybe get his first crack at the playoffs. So nobody will be rooting for Fitz's return more than me, while also rooting for Taylor Heineke.
Let's go, Heine.
In the XFL. I've been following Taylor. He was chugging beers or seltzers in the XFL locker room, rooting for this dude. Him
and PJ Walker. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Because I do a bench warmer brew, the bench player of the week on my channel.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to follow the backups a little bit. I like this. Washington's got a good chance to go bounce back from a loss and beat the Giants, because I don't think the Giants are very good. The Washington's at home on Thursday night, which we know is a big advantage.
There's poop water in there, and that throws them all off.
Yeah, and what the Giants could not do against the Broncos, they're spewing sewage, was run the ball. And I think they're going to struggle to run the ball against Washington, and everything's going to be put on Daniel Jones to win that game, and I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to stream that game, so that's going to be
nice.
Yeah, we're going to do it in character too, because why not?
Wildflowers.
What we'll do, I think first half is going to be Bruce, and then we'll do second as shown on the shirt, and then the second half will be Wildflower, because it's also my birthday tomorrow. So like, let's just like get ripped.
That's right.
Yeah, let's just get ripped as Wildflower and just see what kind of content comes out. Like I think
what birthday is this, Tom?
This is now I'll be into my 30s at 31.
Oh my God, I forget. I'm 36.
Yeah, but listen, you don't look a day over 35. Not a day over.
Right, I know.
But real quick before we skedaddle, the Green Bay Packers making the news once again. Had an interview with Kurt Benkert last night.
Loved it. I watched a good chunk of that. Kurt talking about, can I criticize the referees?
Yeah.
Am I going to get fined? And then you're like, dude, if you do get fined, Super Chats will take care of it.
We got you. Like, we'll raise the funds for you. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And I liked, he really gave some insight. He was like talking about like, maybe we were a little too overconfident, like going into the Saints game. He was very candid. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But no, not because of Kurt Benkert. They're in the news because Jermichael Finley, the former Packers tight end, who, listen, when we had him, was great. Mike McCarthy literally was going to design an entire offense around him. And then when he got hurt, he was like, oh, crap, I don't know what to do. Here you go, Aaron Rodgers. Take the keys to the Audi. And Finley is bashing Aaron Rodgers, saying that he's unfocused. He doesn't see the fire anymore or the motivation. And I just want to, because I will not even talk about this on the main channel here. Folks, Jermichael Finley, when given the opportunity, rips Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers every single opportunity that he gets. Stop giving it credence. Stop even talking about it. Like, it's a shame what happened to him in his career with injury. He was a very good player, but nah. Like, just no.
Yeah.
Just no. Yeah, it's garbage. So, they said this last night as we were going through conspiracy theories with Kurt Benkert. Like, he said, like, Rodgers doesn't like to lose. Like, he hates losing. Like, he would never throw. Like, people were talking about, like, oh, he's throwing it. Like, he's losing intentionally to get back at the Packers. I'm like, no. I very much expect you to see Aaron Rodgers come out on Monday night, and I think he's undefeated after a loss. Like, he's something like 7-0 or some crazy stat like that, and he has, like, no interceptions. I think that he's going to destroy the Lions.
Oh, dude. I mean, the Lions are the perfect one bounce back team. Yeah. Two, every time Aaron Rodgers plays a bad game, he follows it up with a great game.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and here's what I think. Like, Aaron Rodgers, more than I think other quarterbacks I've watched play, when he realized the game is kind of out of reach, I feel like he just dials it back.
He's like,
all right, like, we're not going to win this. It's why
send in love.
Why get kicked in the nuts 2 times? Put in the kid. Put in the kid. I mean, it happened. I felt like when the 49ers would beat him, Rodgers like, the game's already over. What am I going to do here? But he bounces back. Packers are going to be fine. Trust me. Week 1 anomaly, always, even for very good teams. Remember when the Chiefs beat the Patriots week 1? Everyone's like, Tom Brady's done. I think that was 20 years ago already.
I think it was too. Yeah, no, that was quite some time ago. But folks,
shout out to the pornographers for showing up. Over 1,000 people watching the morning live stream. Tom and I's goal is to take over the world. Sirius XM got to come knocking at some point. We're only going to do an hour, though, Sirius. None of this 3-hour stuff.
No, none of that.
1 hour for us.
None of that. Because we got content to do to then talk about for 40 minutes the next day.
Yeah. After I say that, people start dropping out.
They leave. But folks, appreciate it. This is a week anniversary. We started GPS episode 4. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday throughout the season. We're going to be here. So we will see you on Friday. We'll see you tomorrow for clickbait.
Clickbait coming tomorrow.
Clickbait coming tomorrow. And then Friday, we'll be here to break down the Thursday night game. And I will probably be incredibly hungover. But we are going to be here from the birthday bash.
Nice.
So I appreciate everyone tuning up. We know it's early. Everyone who's watching afterwards, I appreciate you for doing that. People in the chat, people doing the super chats, appreciate you. People have used the code GPS. It helps out the show.
We appreciate you. I don't think people realize like how much we actually appreciate them.
Oh, yeah.
Like you and I know we wouldn't be shit if people weren't watching our show.
No.
And it, like, YouTuber, like people say that, like, and I think it sometimes comes off as, oh yeah, they're just trying to engage with the audience. No,
yeah,
like,
no.
100%. I am able to take care of my family because of YouTube. So like, I will never take this for granted. So yeah, we appreciate it. 100% from the heart.
Right over here. That's
just like my arteries.
That's it. So Brandon Perna, got anything coming out today?
Oh, yeah, I got a news video coming out today, and I'm going to do which overreactions from week 1 were BS.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I'll be putting out, of course, our week 2 predictions.
Oh, yeah, and check out Tom's AFC West fan reaction video.
Might see a
Not
familiar
just because
face.
I'm in it, because it's accurate.
I hope I did the Broncos proud.
I'll give you some notes.
Okay, thank you. Folks,
right,
we'll see you on Friday. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna.
We did it.